And hi, and hey, welcome to my Odyssey review. I don't know if I'm gonna post this or not, or like public this. I have a bunch of privated movie reviews on this account. So if you're seeing this, hi, and hey, I thought that this was worthwhile to post to people to let them listen to it. How are you doing today? uh, I watched The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, and it was a slog to get through. Um, and I don't know. Everyone's really liking this one, and I'm sorry I didn't like this. I think I should start out with like I would love to read my like Nolan list review that I wrote on Letterboxd. Because I think it kind of perfectly sets me up here for like what I'm going to talk about in this. So here I'm going to read this really quick. Nolan for me is making good movies, but emotionally they don't land for me. More so recently than in the past. I've always seen Nolan as this great artist making great art, but in more recent years, his art hasn't hit its strides I need it to make me feel something. In recent years, it has felt like it's all about spectacle instead of character writing, which is what got me into Nolan in the first place. I don't mind the spectacle. I love seeing epic things, but it's just not up there on it's I love seeing epic things, but it's just not up first when it comes to the stories I like engaging with. I want to see stories about people. This feels like an odd complaint considering Oppenheimer feels like it's trying to be a character study, but it's also not. It's about the atomic bomb. There's this famous quote by Tarantino where he talks about Jean-Luc Godard in which he says, "There are a lot of artists that you respond to, especially when you're a young man or a young woman, that they are important for what they are because they take you in a new place, but you can outgrow them too, and that actually is their function." So I guess it's kind of like Tarantino said. It's nothing personal. I've just simply outgrown him. And that's kind of what I wrote. I wrote this after Oppenheimer because I was really feeling disconnected after Oppenheimer. And I had felt disconnected for a while. It started, for me, the disconnection from Nolan started with Inception. I didn't like the movie. It felt like it was focused on spectacle and granular things. And for me, I'm not there for spectacle or granular like feelings or epic things. And it's fine if you are. I have no problem with that. That's just not, this is my own personal experience. I should justify that. But I'm not there for that. I'm there for stories about people. I watched Spider-Man last night before I watched the Odyssey this morning. And I was in the theater, and when we walked out the theater and we were like outside, the people sitting next to me said it was really boring. Like Brand New Day was really boring. But then they said, "Yeah, I hate all that boring stuff. I wish they would just make it about cool stuff." And like, I guess like this is their movie. This was made for them. And that's fine. Art's made for different people. I'm not saying it has to be like this, but I feel like that's why I go to the movies, to experience art about people and what that's like, Like I love when you get a peek at something real and tangible that's like unsayable by someone else. I watched the Digital Circus finale. I never really talked about it that much because it was a toxic work environment watching that movie. But it's so good. Like you feel that there's art behind that. There was something being said about the human experience. And that's not here. That's not here. You know what I mean? That stuff is not here in this movie. Sorry. That stuff is not here in this movie. The Odyssey is a slog to get through, honestly. And I never want to be like, I don't want to engage with that filmmaker's like movies. I feel like that's so lame because they could just have a couple of duds and then suddenly start making good movies. But Like, Nolan for me is kind of sensory overload. You know, it's so loud. It's so loud. It's unnecessarily loud. And not in a way where, like, oh, it's got a jump scare in it and it's a little scary. It's so loud. And also, what jump scare? I didn't understand. That's besides the point. That's like a complaint for a friend who I was going to talk about this movie with. But it's so loud. Like, is that really that's the movie? Like, it's so loud, guys. It's loud. It's so loud. And I don't think it justifies being that loud. Some of the editing in this movie is pretty bad. Like, it's pretty bad. It's like editing that I would see in the TV show in FX's Archer is trying to be replicated here. Except they do it well in Archer because the editing is both in the writing and also in the style of the show. You know what I mean? But like multiple times here, it feels like they're trying to replicate that style of editing, but in this movie, and it just doesn't work. It's also like a non-linear story, which usually really works, but not for this movie. Because throughout the entire movie, you're questioning why things are happening, and the answer is in the finale, except the answer should be in that moment, you know? The answer shouldn't be in the finale. This isn't a final, like, that's not a twist. I can't get behind, that's not a twist, you know? I was like trying to find a really good way to like surmise my opinion and stuff about this movie, and I think the best way I can is to talk about what was probably my least favorite scene, aside from Polyphemus's design and look. Why'd they hurt Polyphemus like that, dog? Anyway, okay, that's besides the point. That's such a silly complaint. Just me. I'm the only one concerned about how Polyphemus works. He looks like that is that a Van Gogh painting? Where he's got like his hands on his head. How the Scream became the ultimate. Okay, no, what's it called? It's just called The Scream. Polyphemus looks like the Scream, which is so disappointing. Like, I don't know, it just felt like his design was kind of ruined. Anyway, this is a random side tangent, I shouldn't be on it. Anyways, okay, so I was like trying to look for a perfect scene to kind of encapsulate how I feel about the movie, and I think it's the siren song scene for the movie. Usually I like try to find a scene that kind of perfectly encapsulates my thoughts and feelings, and that's it. Because like, it's fine. It's okay. It's a fine scene in itself, you know? And I think that it makes sense for what's going on, and the perspective that we focus on is fine. But it gets bogged down in the fact that we switch perspectives, you know, for no reason. It gets bogged down in the fact that we mute the sound design goes mute, so that we can't hear the siren song. And et cetera, you know? Like inherently, a siren song is a goofy concept to adapt into a movie, you know? Like, this, like, mythological creature who's half man and half fish singing on a rock and drawing sailors from their boat into the sea to swim across a treacherous ocean to reach them is goofy. That's silly. That's silly. That's goofy. That's odd. That's weird. But, and I say this with love, but the choice to edit out all the sound during that scene is so lame. It's like Nolan is telling me that he couldn't find a way to have this scene have a siren song, a song with such beauty that it feels like you're scratching an itch, that he decides to just tell me that that's what the song seems like it's about. Like, how lame is that? And maybe that's just me, you know, maybe that's just my perspective. I'm okay with that. But I just found that super lame. And that's what Nolan's films have felt like recently. A lot of tell and not show, despite being someone who prides himself on show don't tell. You know what I mean? Like all I hear him talk about is how movies nowadays tell us a bunch of stuff instead of showing us stuff. And yet his films are the quintessential case for telling me information but not showing me said information. Like there's like one shot that I think is show don't tell at the end of this film that's like supposed to recontextualize Zendaya's character. But it really doesn't, because it's already been told to me by the beginning of the film, multiple times. It's just you know what I mean? Sorry, I hope I'm like communicating all this stuff in the right way. What else was I gonna say? But yeah, that's how it's felt watching Nolan films recently. They're so pretty to look at. You know what I mean? Like the camera that he uses is so gorgeous. That those 4K renderings, those shots, they're so pretty. But what's the point? What's the point of them looking like that if you don't let me see them? There's one shot that's like shot through like fabric that's being quilted on, and it's a nice shot and I like it a lot. And that's the shot that you choose to go with, like that's my point. I don't get to see any of the camera, like I don't get to see the renderings, the beauty that you want me to see of these like gorgeous sets that you've crafted and built, that you've said that like, I hate using CGI, I like doing stuff practical, and everything is either in a montage of like events of somebody monotoned monologuing over this footage that I'm like so disinterested that I'm trying to focus on the film, but you're overwhelming my senses by just having like the most boring, drab narrator that I could possibly imagine narrating over the film, the entire movie, or it's shot behind something, obstructing the beauty that is these beautifully rendered, beautifully made, handcrafted things. Or the editing is like doing such a great disservice to these shots because it's so hyper actively edited, overly so, that it like my eyes can't focus for so long because they have to readjust to the next shot and the shot after that and the shot after that. I took a film class, like a film studies class in high school. I didn't go to film school, but we talked about like scene to scene editing, which has like a really like complicated name, but I don't really remember it at the time. And how each time you cut in a film, you want to make sure that the people who are watching the film's eyes don't have to readjust too much, because at points it can feel like your eyes are just readjusting if there's too much noise, essentially, is how the person described it. And that's what I would describe as happening here. There's too much noise, It's like a character is on one side of the screen, and then cut to he's on the other side of the screen, and then cut to and now he's in the middle, and then cut to he's on the left side, and then cut to he's on the right, and cut to he's in the foreground. And it's so overwhelming to the senses that I can't focus on the action and choreography of stunts, because there's so much editing. And I'm sure that editing is covering some of those stunts being able to be pulled off at such a high level. But I don't get to watch those. Like, I would have to pause and analyze at home while I'm watching the movie in order to understand what's happening. There's a shot, it's like 2.5 seconds of a shot where Odysseus is like getting into a boat, and they're like fighting on these beaches. Is it during the Polyphemus stuff? No. It's a little later in the film. It's with those like knights guys that I don't know the name of, and I don't care to learn the name. I'm sorry. But it's like when they're getting off the beaches, somebody slashes this guy's arm off, and like I couldn't really tell if that's what happened or not. Like that's such a, like, if you're gonna have a stunt like that, let me see it. Let me see that stunt, And there's also no blood in the movie. Like, where shouldn't these guys be like bleeding a whole lot? And there's none. There's blood in like one specific shot in the later half of the movie where they like pour like sheep's blood into a shield on the dark beaches, which is like a really cool set. Um, but it's like so weird because I'm like, nobody the entire movie has been bleeding this much, that seeing this much blood was so confusing. Was honestly so confusing. I thought that nobody in the movie had blood for a reason. Like, that's how weird it was. So it's like a rated R movie that's like not rated R. You know, like, where is the gore, I guess, is my question. Like, when I play The Last of Us Part 2, I feel that, you know, it's like I see the gore, I see the blood, I feel that it's rated R. This felt like a PG-13 movie that cursed a little too much and got a higher rating than it should have, which is kind of lame and stupid and dumb. Uh, yeah. What else do I got? I feel like I was gonna roll. Like, he was like screaming during the siren song bit, and I was laughing, and that's sad. I shouldn't be laughing. Yeah, but it was funny. Lo-fi Odyssey beats to chill and relax to. That's what I wrote in my notes. What the fuck? I was playing tic-tac-toe at one point. I was so bored. There was nothing happening. There was nothing interesting on the screen. That's my point, you know? It's like, they're like having a conversation in a darkly lit tavern, which, like, don't even get me started on the lighting. Ugh. Because it's competent, you know, it's like it's at a low level, but it's at such a low level I can't see things. I want to be able to see things. I like color, and it feels like there's no color here. It's like I'm having the same complaints that a Marvel movie has, you know. It's like, and the new Spider-Man movie has color, dude. This one did not, which was like so disorienting. But yeah, I was like completely disconnected during this scene where where he's like talking to the lady about maybe marrying her. I was just like so disconnected and so bored, and I didn't know what I was doing, that I was playing tic-tac-toe in my notes, which is bad. That's awful. I shouldn't do that. I need to focus, but sometimes, like, I don't know, I'm there to watch a movie and you're just kind of like explaining how, why, how, or what, or something, you know? And it's like the point of the scene is that he's calling her out for undoing the quilt. I understand that. I got that moments ago, but now I'm bored. Like, I got the point of the scene. Can we move on? Can we move on? And then it's like Odysseus, like, returns home, and he's like atoning for all his sins in this lake. He's being washed over by Poseidon. In a sense, the film is like literally telling me that Poseidon is kind of forgiving him for the things that he's done, like for killing or for wounding Polyphemus, but like it doesn't seem like Odysseus gives a single shit about anything that he's ever done in his entire life, and still currently doesn't. All he wants to do is get home, you know? Which I guess you could make a case for, but the film is treating this as if he's being washed and is atoning for his sins and understanding the bad things that he does, okay? Which is fine. The ending of the movie tells me that he was feeling bad at Troy before we get here, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see any of that. I don't see him feeling bad. He looks the same as he did beforehand. You know, and everyone treats him like he's special. Everyone treats him like he's understanding, he's atoning. You know, they make his men walk away from the reading with James Rinmar's character, but he like literally he doesn't seem like he actually gives a shit. You know, he doesn't seem like he cares. And I guess that's my main complaint. I don't know. It's like I just end this review by going on like internal rants about things. You know what I mean? It's like it seems like I'm supposed to feel bad for the journey that Odysseus goes on. You know what I mean? The trials that Odysseus faces on his journey at sea are supposed to reframe his thinking so that when he returns home and sees the men in that diner or in that dining area acting the way that they do, he connects that back to those trials that he faced and therefore says that behavior is wrong. But then it ends with a giant all-out brawl where he kills people with a bow. You know what I mean? Like that's, I kind of think that's my point. Like, like that's kind of my point. And like, I don't know how I would have changed that. I don't know what I would have done differently. And I guess that's my point. What was the point in making this movie? Why did he make the Odyssey? You know, it's like Nolan talks about art, you know, in a way that's so provocative and understanding. And it seems as if he has a very competent understanding of why he's doing X, Y, and Z. But why did he make this? You know, it's like, why did he make the Odyssey? What was the point? What is he trying to say? Because he's saying the same thing that he said last time and the time before that and the time before that. His movies are all about him trying to forgive himself for going away and making another movie. Like that's such a lame thing to write about. Write about something different. You know? It's like I don't know. I guess that's my point. You know? It's like other people are making like real tangible movies about experiences in their life that they're trying to come to terms with, you know? Like people are making movies where they're forced to reckon with the darkness that they truly have inside themselves, you know, and rejecting that darkness. And yet we're here watching the Odyssey, where a guy is making the movie that he made 2 years ago with an atomic bomb, but now it's with the Odyssey. And that makes no sense. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, there's no point in making the same movie you made a couple years ago because you already did that. You already did that again before you made that one. And I guess I get a little, what's the word? Like, I get a little over hating. You know, it's like I do feel like I'm a little more upset than I would be. And I think it is because the movie is getting a lot of good reception, you know? It's like I'm on the outskirts. It's like I'm staring inside the window of a house and watching a family on Christmas morning open presents while I don't have any presents. I'm Scrooge, you know? Like I'm like, bah humbug. Somebody please explain to me. I don't understand the point of Christmas. Like what are people getting out of this movie, you know? And I'm gonna watch and listen to some reviews because I really want to hear people talk about the movie and talk about what they got out of it. But I feel like a lot of the takeaway for this movie is gonna be it was really cool. There were a lot of cool shots in here. And I really don't want that to be the case. You know, it was like I was reading reviews and like nobody's really explaining why. You know, it's like why or what, you know? So I guess that's kind of my thoughts on the Odyssey. It's got really bad editing. I don't like the dialogue that much. The score is not very good. The sound design is also just not very good. He has bad sound mixing. Things are too loud and things are too quiet, and it makes no sense. I think that the character design in this movie is a real failure. Like, I think the set deck is really good. I think the set decoration is really great. But for what? Like, it's not given the time to shine, you know? Yeah, is that all I have to say? I need a nap, though, you know? And, yeah, I don't know. There are a few complaints that I complained about that were, like, tangentially related to the book, The Odyssey, and this movie. But I also haven't read the book in so long, and also, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like the Trojan horse. The point is that their greed gets the better of them, right? Their greediness of winning a war that they think they've already won gets the better of them, and they invite the horse inside as a trophy for their victory, and it unfortunately becomes their downfall, you know? Which I feel like is the entire point. So why are they checking the inside of the horse, you know? Like, I guess that's, you know, like, and I was thinking that multiple times throughout the movie. You know, it's like towards the end of the movie, he says, "But I'm a beggar." You know, it's like, "I'm not Odysseus. I'm a beggar. I'm not him. I've exiled that name. It no longer means anything to me. I wear a new name because I have a new outlook and identity on life." And it's like, but then you kill literally everybody in that entire area, so you are him. You know, it's like you haven't separated yourself from that identity. If you were to do so, I feel like you would let people go. You know, it's like, you know, but it's like, I guess he has to do that because of the ruthlessness of this world that's been set up is so overbearing, you know. But again, these are complaints that, like, I haven't read the book in a long time. I don't remember a whole lot of it. And so having complaints with that in this is really difficult because I don't want to compare and contrast the two. But when you're telling the story of the Odyssey, I don't know, you know. It's like, and like Polyphemus's design is so bad, you know. It's like I feel like the point of Polyphemus's design is not that he looks like a monster, you know, not like he looks like the Scream from the painting. The point is that he's like an everyman, I feel, you know, who's you know, it's like, I feel like that's the point of the character. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is described as a monster. Maybe I'm just a little too Percy Jackson coded, I guess. I don't know. But I feel like that's the point of Polyphemus, is that he's not, like, maybe that is right. Maybe he is a big overbearing monster, but I thought the point of Polyphemus was that he was like an everyman, you know, who's been forced to live on his own, kind of, and that he's lonely, and that's like one of the main points of his character. And like, I don't know, maybe I've just seen too many rewrites of the Polyphemus character. Maybe he's actually like supposed to be a monster. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember a whole lot of it, but it's just upsetting because it's kind of like, I wish that this got more weight. Like, I wish that I understood the character a little more, because a simple character reintroduction would work. You know, it's like an explanation of what he wants and what, you know, it's like he's misunderstood because he refuses to talk, you know. A simple explanation of that would make sense. That, and however, it's not done and I don't get it. You know, it's like, and there's no reintroduction of the character. He's just kind of big hulky monster who I'm supposed to be scared of because he does big hulky things. You know, he's like the Hulk. And Matt Damon is Tony Stark. You know, like, I don't know what else to say. That's all I got. I don't remember a whole lot of the Odyssey, so please, I guess, inform me of the books in the comment section below. I am not going to think about this movie probably ever again, to be honest, unless I'm asked about it, which is unfortunate because I heard it was really good. I'd really been dreading watching this one. I'm going to be honest. I had been avoiding a theater for this one for a really long time because I watched Oppenheimer, and the movie was like really overstimulating for me, but also because it's a Nolan film and I haven't much enjoyed Nolan recently. So, yeah. That's all I got for the Odyssey. Thank you for listening. If I did post this, please leave a like and a comment below. And if I didn't, thank you for listening, Xavier. You're pretty cool, and keep up the really smart and really insightful movie reviews. Thank you, dog. And bye. See you later. Bye.
If everything I dreamt of it was true, I take your blessings with your heartaches too.